Picture you all see on the screen right now was taken on my child's first day of high school. However, unlike most kids' first day of school, she woke up having 3 seizures, 3 grand mal seizures. She was dosed with 6 medications in the morning and couldn't tie her own shoes. My daughter is amazing. Every day she's strong, she's a fighter, more than anybody I've ever met. She has a smile that is beautiful, and she is my world. She is my everything. No one can take that away from her. She first got sick when she was 3 years old. She had her first seizure. From there, things just progressively got worse. A year later, she had another one, and then another, and then before I knew it, my daughter was seizing every day, all day long. Seizures were never ending. One after another, they just kept happening. My daughter's been on 15 plus medications, all which we would call a fail. So many seizure meds, so many different tries, so many side effects. No parent could ever understand how much your child is going to experience till you have to give them med after med and watch each side effect just take a little piece of them away. Heaven has also had many surgeries, too many to count, too many ideas of things that might work. We had one surgery done that was a VNS placement. It's called a vagal nerve stimulator. I remember the day that she came out of that surgery with hopes that this would make seizures better. The doctors were so positive and so insistent. Yet the moment that they pulled the blanket off of her, all I could do was cry. The scars looked terrible, and all she did was cry from the pain. I watched my daughter go through that for a year of crying, a year of pain, a year of using a magnet to help stop seizures from happening. That was eventually taken out and we moved forward, but the seizures persisted. As her seizures got worse, we had devastating moments with doctors, one of which sticks out in my head. She was having hundreds of seizures in a month, and she was regressing and losing skills of things that she had gained as a toddler. Learning to say your ABCs, learning to count, all the things that we love to do with our children, teach them to sing simple songs, read books with them. She wasn't able to do any of these tasks anymore. I remember the conversation with that doctor. I remember the hospital room. I remember being walked out, down the hall, into this tiny room with a doctor who proceeded to tell me that he didn't know that my daughter was going to see the holidays, how her seizures had taken away so much from her, and that we were unsure of the path that was ahead of us. Despite all the things that may have happened in those days following, heaven still smiled. She still moved forward, still played games, still was the happy kid that I always knew. Even in between seizures, feeling crappy, watching her just not be able to stay awake long enough to finish a game, but yet always wanting to. She has had a total of an unknown number, but I can tell you this. She has had thousands of seizures. Right now, she still seizes today. We are down to about 30 to 50 seizures a month. Sometimes I question whether that number is still higher in ones that I cannot see. She was recently diagnosed, after all those years, at age 12, with a genetic deletion that she will always continue to have seizures every day unless they find by some miracle some way to stop them. Her condition doesn't stop her, though. She's always moving forward, always being that typical kid. She may be labeled as disabled for the rest of her life, but she in many ways, like a normal kid, does everyday typical things that you would expect any kid to do. She plays video games and loves them. She travels and likes to go visit different zoos. She loves to horseback ride. This past year, she recently, for the first time, was able to read a book, a very short preschool book, but was able to read. She was able to ride a bike for the first time. That moment when she was able to take away on a bike, I couldn't stop smiling, and neither could she. You could see the happiness. I could see the happiness. I love it when she's able to do the things that typical kids are able to do because she fights so hard for that every day. Every day, heaven pushes through. The seizures have taken more every year, and I watch every day as she pushes through the pain, pushes through the fatigue. At this point, she is in a trial that is an investigational medication that we have high hopes that will get us and her more time in the day to be that kid that she wants to be, and we get to parent that child that is happy and still holds her smile even after all this time. Although being sick, this has never let her condition stop her. This is her life. This is our life. This is our normal. This has never taken her smile. She has held that smile since the first day she's ever been born to the day that we are at now. If you get one thing out of my talk today, it's to appreciate your loved ones every chance you get. Parents, appreciate every moment with your child, every morning when you tie their shoes, every book they finish reading, every night when you kiss them goodnight without having to worry.
This is my daughter. We both need each other. She needs me to be strong for her, despite the fears that I have. My biggest fear is there every day when I wake up. I open my eyes, and I hope when I go into her room, I am going to find her breathing. The seizures may have taken a lot, but her and I still have each other, and they can't take her smile.